Once again, as your president, it's my pleasure to welcome you to this, our first post-pandemic gathering of the Lancaster Catholic High School family, here to celebrate the leadership that makes Lancaster Catholic High School continue to offer a Catholic education, Lancaster County's only Catholic high school, to our fourth and fifth generation of Lancaster Catholic High School students. Each one of you here is critical to the ability of Lancaster Catholic High School to live and offer gospel teaching to the next generation of Catholic leaders and leaders in our community, our families, and our world. Your support allows us to educate the next generation of passionately faithful, intellectually astute, and socially responsible young men and women who will join the ranks of four generations, over 90 years of their forebears in the long line of purple and gold wearers, to make impact contributions that are really unparalleled in their scope and in the level of service involved. I'll tell you a story. When I first came here in 2015, we had a partnership with Clipper Stadium. And it was obviously to try and raise the profile of Lancaster Catholic High School and offer some advertising and invite folks to consider Lancaster Catholic High School for their family. And it turned out that we decided we could use our funds more effectively in other places, not because what they were offering us wasn't great, it was fantastic, but it was a little bit in the wrong season. For us, the main season for welcoming our kids and for recruiting students for the next year is kind of early spring. So, we needed to be able to redirect our funds elsewhere. And I got a frantic phone call from the vice president for sales and said, I want to meet with you. Before you do this, please, give me 15 minutes. Come on over. So I did. And so he said, look, here's the bottom line. I just got here from New York City. I've been here 2 months. I found out that every single business that we rely on to buy our hospitality suites and support every single one of them either has a Lancaster Catholic grad as the CEO or one of the key decision makers. So please, I'm telling you, I need you to be part of this. Otherwise, they're not going to go. They're going to go someplace else. So that's the kind of impact that your support allows Lancaster Catholic High School graduates to continue to perform in the service of God wherever they go and whatever they do. All of us at Lancaster Catholic High School are keenly aware that we're standing on the shoulders of generations of benefactors who have made it possible for that 9 decades worth of graduates to go on to achieve outstanding success, whether it be in higher education, to become leaders in their career fields, in their families, in the church, and in their communities. For many decades, as you all know, it was the contributed services of religious sisters and our clergy that made it possible for literally thousands to attend Lancaster Catholic High School for decades at little or no cost. I know that there are a number of religious sisters here with us tonight and religious clergy, and I would ask you all, please, to stand and be recognized. Sisters. From all of us at Lancaster Catholic High School, be aware that we know we're standing on the shoulders of you and your community. God bless you and thank you. Today, in order for us to continue to provide a top quality education and to keep our tuition affordable for our families, we must rely heavily on the support of our community and on your support. Each of you are a vital partner in our education and in the service we offer, and most of all, in the journey that we walk with our students to fulfill our mission to them, which is to help them discover and develop their God-given gifts and talents for the service of God's plan for the world and the service of those that God puts in their lives. Your support of this evening, along with the thousands of other benefactors, alumni, parents, past parents, and friends, allow each one of our students to receive a grant of over $3,600 each year, which represents the cost, the difference between what it actually costs to educate each student and what the tuition for most of them is. So what you are doing tonight literally allows us to give every Catholic family a over $3,600 grant, and that's just for starters. Over 60% of the families at Lancaster Catholic High School today also receive financial aid, tuition assistance. So your support tonight allowed us to support those families with over $1.3 million in tuition assistance this year, especially needed in this pandemic era. So on their behalf, thank you. You've allowed each one of those families to, and I wish you could hear some of the conversations we've had with those families, especially those who lost jobs or income during the pandemic. Their dream for their son and daughter is to be able to provide them with a Catholic education. And for those who are alumni and alumnae of Lancaster Catholic High School, it is near and dear to their hearts to be able to give their son and daughter the same kind of opportunities and education that they benefited from. Your support allows them to fulfill that dream for their son and daughter. And again, on behalf of each and every one of our students, I thank you. In a special way tonight, I also want to take this opportunity to express our humble appreciation and boundless gratitude to each of our local pastors, many of whom are with us tonight. Your faith in us and your unswerving financial and especially your spiritual support of our shared ministry of Catholic education inspires each of us working in the vineyards each and every day. I would ask all members of the diocesan clergy and our pastors to please stand at this time to be thanked and recognized. Please. Thank you so much. And so tonight we're gathered to celebrate leadership, the kind of leadership that makes Lancaster Catholic High School possible. The St. John Paul II Excellence in Leadership Award is bestowed annually on a person or persons who reflect the spirit and dedication of our late Pope, St. John Paul the Great, as demonstrated through a personal embodiment of leadership in support of our Catholic faith and in the mission of Lancaster Catholic High School. Before we honor tonight's honorees, I would like to take the time to recognize our past recipients of the St. Paul, John Paul the Great Award, some of whom are here tonight and some of whom are not. So our first award winner was, in 2015 was Judy Cook, who is here with us. Sheila Shepline, our award honoree in 2016, is with us tonight. Our 2018 award nominee, Walt Legenstein, winner I should say, not nominee, is also with us tonight. Walt. And last year's winners, Jerry and Suzanne Gantz, are also with us tonight. Father Lavelle was our honoree in 2017, was not able to be here. And there are, because of the pandemic, there are a number of honorees that would have received this award in person during the pandemic period. I want to recognize them tonight, wish they were here. We had 3 recipients, the late Don Nicholas, Mrs. Catherine Schrader, but one, Mrs. Marianne Achel, is with us here tonight, would have been honored in person. Marianne? Each and every one of them embody the leadership that Catholic education requires in order to survive. The going above and beyond that you'll hear about tonight for this year's honorees is a shared characteristic of every one of our honorees and why we gather to celebrate and thank each and every one of them. As president of Lancaster Catholic High School, it's my privilege to welcome Dr. Paul and Mrs. Tracy Carroll to introduce this year's recipients of the 8th annual St. John Paul the Great Excellence in Leadership Award. Come on up.
Good evening, everyone. It's quite an honor to be here, and if you're wondering why a couple of kids from New York City are standing up here to introduce our honorees, it's a simple story. We arrived here back in 1999. Tracy arrived about 6 months, or about a month, 6 weeks prior to me arriving, and as soon as she got here, Barb and Ed just swept up her and my 2 daughters and just took them in and became their parents, our Lancaster parents. And I arrived about 6 weeks later, and since then, to this day, they continue to be our Lancaster parents. So it was easy for us to say, yes, we want to do this, and we want to be here tonight. Also, good news, Ed just told me that he's going to pick up the bar tab after. He said yes. Tracy and I are quite honored with the opportunity to stand before you and introduce tonight's honorees, Dr. Edward and Barbara Maley, proud members of the class of 1959.
Barbara Binzen was born and raised in the east side of Lancaster on Reservoir Street. The Binzens were members of St. Anthony of Padua Parish, and Barb attended St. Anthony's Catholic School. She continued her education at Lancaster Catholic High School, excelling in the classroom and being heavily involved in a variety of extracurricular activities such as cheerleading, student council, the Rosemarian staff, the yearbook, Glee Club, Future Nurses Club, Junior Achievement, and the Senior Play. After graduating from Catholic school, Barbara first attended Penn State University and then transferred to Millersville University. She graduated from Millersville with a Bachelor of Arts in Childhood and Elementary Education. In 1962, Barbara married the tall, handsome boy she and nearly everyone in Lancaster cheered for on the football field and on the basketball court, Edward Maley. Barb and Ed moved to St. Louis, Missouri, while Ed completed medical school and his residency. Barbara served as an elementary school teacher. Also in St. Louis, Barb and Ed doubled the size of their family with the birth of their daughter, Brenda, followed by their son, Christopher, 3 years apart. If you ask Ed, he will tell you that of the two of them, it is Barbara who is most deserving of this honor, as she raised 2 young children while Ed completed his orthopedic residency at Washington University. All while raising a young family together with Ed, Barb began her accomplished career as a classroom educator by serving as a teacher in a St. Louis Catholic school. When the Malley family moved back to Lancaster in 1974, Barb and Ed were thrilled to welcome their third child, Jonathan. Barb continued her service as an elementary school educator in Lancaster. She worked for Substitute Teacher Service, where she spent time in many of the Catholic parochial schools in Lancaster. And my girls always love having you. You were a special treat. Elizabethtown, New York, as well as in various public school districts throughout Lancaster County. Barbara faithfully served as one of the educators of the museum school, part of the Lancaster Education Foundation. In this role, Mrs. Maley educated students and adults alike on what school was like in America in 1853. For 21 years, Barb dressed and acted the part of an American educator during the antebellum era in our country's history. Barb volunteered in Lancaster County through the Lancaster Medical Society. She currently continues to volunteer with the students and teachers at Sacred Heart School, as well as faithfully serving as an extraordinary minister for Sacred Heart Parish. In addition to her faith and her family, Barb has selflessly devoted her God-given abilities to multiple generations of young people as she faithfully helped in the formation of their souls, minds, and hearts. Thank you, Barbara.
Edward Maley was born and raised in Cabbage Hill in Lancaster. The Maley family belonged to St. Mary's Parish, and Ed attended St. Mary's Catholic School. Ed then thrived at Lancaster Catholic High School, in the classroom, on the football field, and the basketball court. He was very involved in extracurricular activities as a student at Lancaster Catholic, where he was a member of the Honor Society, Varsity Club, represented his fellow classmates on student council, including serving as the student council president his senior year. After graduating from Catholic High alongside Barb in 1959, Ed continued his education studies at Brown University. In 1962, Ed married his Catholic High sweetheart, Barbara Binzen. Shortly afterwards, Ed entered medical school at Washington University in St. Louis. He then completed his orthopedic residency at Washington University. It was in St. Louis that Barb and Ed, well, according to Ed, mostly Barb, as we heard, raised 2 of their 3 children, Brenda and Christopher. Dr. Maley served our country in the United States Navy for 2 years at Portsmouth Naval Hospital, where he taught orthopedic residents. Dr. Maley then practiced orthopedics for 1 year in Oregon. 1974 was truly a memorable year for the Maleys, as they returned to Lancaster and welcomed the birth of their 3rd child, Jonathan. Also in 1974, Dr. Maley joined an orthopedic practice, which eventually became Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster, where he faithfully and joyfully practiced orthopedic surgery for 38 years. Dr. Maley enthusiastically shares that he loved every second of his time at Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster and helping all of his patients. The boardroom, maybe not. Equally meaningful to both Ed and Barbara was the fact that all three children continued the Maley family legacy of attending Lancaster Catholic High School. Brenda, a member of the class of 1980, Christopher, a member of the class of 1983, and Jonathan, a member of the class of 1992. After retiring, Dr. Maley participated in several medical mission trips to numerous Catholic and Christian hospitals in Africa, El Salvador, and the Philippines. At Lancaster Catholic, Dr. Maley currently serves on the school board of directors, on the Cherish, Love, and Honor Capital Campaign Leadership Committee, and previously on the capital campaign for the Crusader Stadium. In 2006, he was selected to the Lancaster Catholic Athletic Hall of Honor, and in 2008, he received the Alumni Citation Award, the highest award bestowed upon any Lancaster Catholic alum. His love of woodworking, as many of us know, keeps him young, active, and ever involved in his Lidditz planning mill. He continues to pursue his passion of playing golf, but his most cherished moments, according to Ed, are those spent with his family and friends. Something that you may not have known about Ed is that his father helped lay the foundation of Lancaster Catholic High School in 1929. Fast forward to today, and if you stop by 650 Juliet Avenue over the summer months, you may be fortunate enough to find Dr. Maley painstakingly and lovingly resurfacing the wooden doors that make up the iconic main entrance to Catholic High, or the two wooden and metal benches that sit on either side of the sidewalk leading to the school's majestic entrance. You might say that for the past 93 years, the very acts of building, maintaining, and continuing to improve Lancaster Catholic High School is a Maley family tradition, something that has been passed down multiple generations so that countless others can receive the lifetime benefits of a Catholic high education for the next 100 years. Thank you, Ed.
The Lancaster Catholic class of 1959 is very special indeed. One classmate and longtime friend of Ed and Barb's, Dr. G. Terry Madonna, recently sat down with the Maleys for their Gala honoree interview. Please turn your attention to the monitor closest to you and enjoy.
I'm Terry Madonna, class of 1959. Ed and Barbara Maley, you were classmates and friends of mine. It's been a pleasure to participate in this interview. I want to thank you for everything that you've done for my alma mater and your alma mater, Lancaster Catholic High School. Well, congratulations to both of you. You are this year's recipient of Lancaster Catholic High's St. John Paul II's Excellence in Leadership Award. And there's something else. You just recently celebrated your 60th wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Well, let's go on to the questions. First of all, let's talk about education, Barbara, especially Catholic education, which you've spent a good deal of your life teaching. You taught out in St. Louis. When you returned to Lancaster, you taught at Sacred Heart Catholic School. You also taught at the Museum the museum school. If you had a wish and a desire for your students as they left your class, what would it be?
Well, thank you for your compliments, and Terry, very nice. I just want you to know that how fortunate I have felt about having a Catholic education. I'm very happy that I was able to teach in Catholic schools in St. Louis while Ed was in medical school, and then when I came back to Lancaster. And I feel that I was able to pass on lessons I've learned to live by to students. And that's my Catholic education has taught me well.
All right, well, let's go to another question. Ed and Barbara, believe it or not, 67 years ago, you were freshmen at Lancaster Catholic High School. Ed, let me start with you. How did your experiences at Lancaster Catholic shape your life?
Well, Terry, I've really had a very good life, and Lancaster Catholic has had a big influence for me in several ways. First, and probably most important, is I met Barbara there, which resulted in 3 great children, 7 wonderful grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild. But secondly, the whole experience there was good with friends and athletics and academics. I have fond memories of, but especially my senior year, where I met our new principal actually when I was painting bleachers for the old stadium in the summer when he first arrived. So we had a good, over the year of my senior year, I was class president, and I had a lot of opportunity with conversations with him and discussing the various events and things that I was involved with. And I realized later, and of course all this is anecdotal, 60-some years ago, but I realized later I developed a lot of self-confidence when I left, which really served me well, especially in college. And I sort of developed a can't-fail attitude that has stayed with me to this day. And I attribute a lot to that particular experience that year. I realized also later how important it was to my career because I really, my parents did not finish high school and really did not have any direct direction or input into any choice of college or even going to college. Some of the teachers, they encouraged me to, applying for the schools, but I was able, with their input, to get into Brown and also a full scholarship, which financially allowed me to go there. And ever since that, it seemed like things took off, and every doors kept opening for me that led to my eventual very pleasant and rewarding medical career.
Mm-hmm.
I have wonderful memories of Lancaster Catholic. They were 4 very happy years for me. Our class of 1959, Terry, was filled with good academics, great teachers that sometimes we talk about because it was a fun time with them. We had a class of some really great people. And I run into those people around town often and or see them, and they're great people, and they've done good things in life. It was a good class to be in Lancaster Catholic. I have to say that I'm always happy and proud to say I graduated from Lancaster Catholic. And whenever I go out there, I notice everybody's happy. The kids are happy. It just seems like a really good place to be.
Well, let me go to another question, Ed and Barbara. Thinking about your leadership, and you've given back to Lancaster Catholic High, why do you think that's been so important to you?
Yes, I feel it's almost my duty, but certainly to give back, and I just feel very comfortable with the school, especially with the way the school's run now, and the administrators and president and all the people that are working. It's just a really good feel, and I'd like to, by my contribution, make that hopefully available to all the future students and the students that are there and the future students. I enjoy doing things. I did twice now help with athletes on the basketball court. Actually, this season with a girl, her elbow, but also with the committees, the stadium committee, the current committee for the school, that the STEM labs were finished, and I just really still feel it's my school, and I redid the benches out front with new slats, right. and the redoing the front doors because Barb didn't like them the way they were rotting away. So there, it's just I still have a great feeling about the school. And
well, that's important. Remember, back in the day, you spent 4 years playing basketball and football at Lancaster Catholic, so that's very understandable that you still have that sense and commitment in your life.
Yes, I do. I really do.
Well, I think he took words out of my mouth. Yes, I think we want to ensure that the school can offer the same things that we got out of the school. And I want to take some words from Sacred Heart School. Lancaster Catholic provides an education for life.
Well, the last question, given your background and your experiences, what advice can you give current and future students at Lancaster Catholic?
Well, I guess my best advice would be to study to learn. And it's something that I actually more recently watching my grandchildren studying for boards that so many my friends in medical school seem to study and memorize, and learning is a lot different from studying for grades. I heard I don't know where that was, but one of the Beatitudes is not, blessed are those who get A pluses. And I think there's too much, I saw that in medical school, and I developed the feeling that I just had to learn and keep learning, because it really, in medicine, it makes a difference. It can be life or death because most of what I've seen memorized gets forgotten. Sure. So I just think that continuing to learn. I wear out my iPad Googling still, and it just is so much fun to keep learning new things, and if everyone can do that. So I hope they can. I hope they continue on with their faith and their enthusiasm for Catholic High and everything that was taught there. This is advice. If you're going off to college, call your mother and keep from getting a credit card as long as you can.
I think we've all been given gifts by God, and some have big gifts, some have just gifts, and use those gifts well. I think that's important.
All right, well, let me just say this. As one of your friends and classmates, Barb, 4 years at Lancaster Catholic, Ed, some people won't believe this, 12 years, 8 years at St. Mary's, 4 years at Lancaster Catholic. I want to congratulate you again on the award. It's been an honor and a privilege for me to conduct this brief interview. Thank you very much.
Thank with us, Terry.
Thank you, Terry.
My pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the entire Lancaster Catholic community, it is my pleasure and my wife's pleasure to award Dr. Edward and Mrs. Barbara Maley with the St. John Paul II Excellence in Leadership Award.
Am I to hold? Oh my
Would you like to hold?
Well, I just opened a piece of paper because I really have a lot to say from my heart, but I was afraid I might forget some of it. So I will be glancing at my paper pretty regularly. I'm honored and humbled to receive this award and to see so many dear friends here tonight from Lancaster Catholic, from Sacred Heart, and friends from Lancaster through the years. I never would have imagined it to be such a wonderful, warm evening here. I feel I've been so blessed in this life, not least by receiving an outstanding education, academic and spiritual, at Lancaster Catholic. So I am grateful to have the opportunity to say thank you, and including this evening, to be able to express my thanks. I've tried in my life, by my actions and example, to live lessons I learned at Lancaster Catholic. For me, that meant being a good mother, friend, and community member, like so many other graduates from Lancaster Catholic. It has meant being a good wife to my, this is tough, to my incredibly gifted, generous, hardworking partner, Ed, who shows his family the importance of using God's gifts to the fullest every day. And it has meant, I hope, being a graduate of which Lancaster Catholic can be proud. To all the staff of Lancaster Catholic from 1959 until today, you are amazing. Your work is appreciated. You do make a difference. Thank you for this honor.
Okay. Well, thanks for everyone coming. This has been an incredible experience that I had no idea it was going to be. I had an awful lot to say. Tim said most of it. So, but I do want to say that this affair is about Lancaster Catholic, not us. I hope everybody realizes that. And the generosity of all the people here and the people who aren't here and all the people that are helping with Catholic High, I too want to thank, and I just hope that I hope it continues and that the children and future children get the same kind of education and gifts from the school that I received. I think if you heard there, it made a massive difference in the direction of my life. And, when it happens, you don't think about it, but I have, especially preparing for this, thought back about it. And how did I get there? How did I get there? So it came from my experiences at Lancaster Catholic, and I'm extremely appreciative of all of you coming. Thank you very much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I said good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Let's get hype. right. My name is Adarius Williams. I'm a sophomore at Lancaster Catholic. I would like to formally congratulate Dr. and Mrs. Maley on the honor that they have received tonight. I am grateful to be here to represent the student body and to be a part of a larger Crusader family. I made the decision to attend Lancaster Catholic during my 8th grade year at Lincoln Middle School. To be honest, I was initially attracted to Catholic High because of the sports, but my family and I realized what I'm getting in the classrooms is far more important than what I'm getting on the basketball court and the baseball field. As a student at Catholic, I have grown closer to my community and I am making friends that will last a lifetime. Another reason I made the decision to attend Catholic is because I wanted a better chance in my life to succeed. Another reason I made the decision is because I know anywhere else I wouldn't have had the opportunity to make better of my life. At school, I'm a member of the Respect the Life Club and the Spanish Club, and my favorite class is web design. That's my favorite class because, it gives me the chance to express myself, to show my creativity and my originality. I've never had a teacher make me feel special before coming to Lancaster Catholic. At Catholic High, the teachers do everything in their power to make my education priority. Before coming to the school, I was misunderstood. Teachers could never relate to me and how I learned. They really never even took out the time to try and make things easier for me. And because of that, I struggled with my academics and my behavior. Until Lancaster Catholic, I never had teachers who actually cared whether I failed or passed their class. I never had teachers try to connect with me as a person, which is definitely goes a long way when trying to become a better student. I've learned that Catholic High is a place where people care about me and will help me prepare for college. I'm extremely grateful that I was able to receive tuition assistance to make it possible for me to change from public school to a private education. Growing up, my mother did everything she could to create a better life for me. There were times where she would go without so that I can have things that I desired. As a single parent, I knew it was difficult for my mom when I told her that I was interested in Lancaster Catholic. I know that I would not have been given the opportunity to succeed without the help of many of you in the crowd tonight. Thank you for this opportunity. Because of tuition assistance and your generosity, I'll be able to provide for my family and someday give back to the next generation of Crusaders. Thank you.
What an honor and blessing it is to be standing here in front of so many beautiful, smiling people. Walking into Lancaster Catholic, whether that be the classroom, the gym for a basketball game, or the stadium for a Friday night football game, you know you will be met by a friendly, smiling face and the feeling of being right at home. The people who have your best interest at heart, the people who will be there for you no matter what, and the people you love with all your heart, otherwise known to me and many of you as the Lancaster Catholic community. For those of you who do not know me, I am Megan Myers. I am now a senior here at Lancaster Catholic. I run cross country and track, and I am the captain on both teams. I am a member of over 10 clubs and school activities, and family is one of the most important parts of my life. I have 3 older brothers and 1 younger sister. My little sister, Courtney, was born with Noonan syndrome, a form of autism. She means the world to me. However, it has not been easy for my parents to raise 5 children while trying to do everything they can to make sure she has a normal life. Their jobs have been put on hold from time to time, taking her to appointments and sitting with her through surgeries. Both of my parents, Dana Doherty Myers and Christopher Myers, have attended both Lancaster Catholic High School and Catholic elementary schools and never wanted it to be any different for their children. I have heard them say more times than I can count how many wonderful friends and families they have met through Lancaster Catholic. They always say their main goal in life is to get each one of their children into heaven. However, with the constant financial barriers placed in their way, this became difficult. The question of not being able to send their children to Lancaster Catholic was a realistic and terrifying thought. Each and every one of you sitting in this room has given immeasurable help to countless families and students. Students who would otherwise be given no choice but to go to a school without the same family atmosphere, or even no school for that matter. You have given my 3 brothers and me the opportunity to attend a truly amazing school, relieving the stress and tribulation of my parents. A school with numerous clubs, sports teams, and extracurricular activities. A school that offers both college courses for students to excel and get a head start for their future, and a school that caters to those who need extra help or assistance through the foundation classes. A school that really is a home to the most wonderful family, a family that I am proud and blessed to be a part of. But most importantly, you have sent these children to a Catholic school, a school that upholds the highest standards and values among each student. The ability to attend a Catholic high school is one of the greatest blessings a child can be given. As you know, each student at Lancaster Catholic has the opportunity to attend daily mass, confession, or just walk into the chapel to pray for a couple of minutes, which is one of the things I love most about Lancaster Catholic. This school shapes each student that walks through these halls into strong, intelligent, devoted, and faithful young adults. This would not be possible without your grace. Without your love and belief in this school, it would not be a fraction of what it is today. Without your kindness, generosity, and endless contribution to this school, students such as Adarius, myself, and all of the students who are present this evening would be missing out on the greatest blessing. Because of this school, I have grown in my faith and grown closer to God. Next year, I will attend Moravian University to study to become a pediatric nurse practitioner and run cross-country, indoor track, and track. I pray that as a nurse, I am able to give back, just as each one of you has. I pray that I will ultimately be able to give back to this school and allow more children to experience the gift that you have given me. Not just the gift of attending a wonderful high school and being accepted into a great college, but now you have given me the opportunity to achieve my goal and my parents' goal of getting into heaven. Thank you.